Okay, my name is Travis Hutchinson. I was born in Lima, Ohio. We came to Wayne County after my father's tour of the United States Air Force was over. He was a crew chief on KC-97s for the air refueling system for the B-52s with the SAC operation. I was 5 years old at that time. He and my mother and an uncle purchased a Gulf gas station in Orville, so they were very hard-working people at that point. The mom and pop's type gas stations, what they actually ran, and I learned my hard work ethics from my parents. My mother also worked out of the home. She worked at Orville Products and also at Rubbermaid. Is this thing working all right? Throughout the schools I went through with Orville, and I graduated from Orville High School in the class of 1976, and also from the vocational school. I worked in my father's body shop all during my school years from the 6th grade up to graduation. A year after graduation, I decided I wanted to go into law enforcement, and then again in 1978, I had the opportunity to join the sheriff's office through the reserves. I worked from 1978 till 79 through the reserve program, and went into the county jail due to the fact I was under 21 and was not able to work on the road. So I worked in the county jail until approximately 23 years of age, transferred to the patrol division, and then also I transferred back to the correction division after I had a 6-month separation. When my father had a stroke, I went to Florida and ran his body shop for him until he was able to recover and take back up his position as the manager of the shop. And then I came back to Wooster, reapplied at the sheriff's department, started back in at the ground level again, and worked my way back up through the ranks from corrections division. And I started with the community maintenance program. Sheriff Alexander assigned me to administrate that position, and I ran that for 15 years. After that, I was transferred to the civil division. I ran the civil division, summonses, subpoenas, divorce papers, foreclosures, seizures of property, and then I was transferred to the Common Police Courthouse, courthouse security, and I was in there for approximately 3 years, and with the budget cuts, since I was a senior sergeant left, I was transferred back to the corrections division, where I finished my 30 years of service to the county and to the citizens of Wayne County. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. Next, it will be Mr. Hardman.
Thank you. Thank you to the Wooster Area Chamber of Commerce and also the Coalition for Support of Business and Jobs for hosting tonight's event. Also, thank you to Louise Keating, who is our moderator, does an eloquent job, as always. On March 6th, the citizens of Wayne County are going to vote for a new Wayne County Sheriff. I spent my entire career in law enforcement. My wife Karen and I have been married for 31 years. Our oldest son, Chris, is a flight paramedic and works for MedFlight, and he's also a paramedic and a firefighter for the Wooster Township Fire Department here in Wayne County. Our daughter Stacy is a kindergarten teacher at Smithville Elementary School, and her husband Rob Slater works for Noble Tech here in Wooster. Our youngest son, Doug, is a freshman at Kent State University. I started in my career actually at the Marshallville Police Department. I graduated from Smithville High School and was hired after attending the Wayne County Sheriff's Academy by the Marshallville Police Department, originally as a volunteer and then eventually as a full-time patrolman. From there, I was hired and worked at the Doylestown Police Department, also as a patrolman out on patrol. In 1978, I was hired by Sheriff Jim Frost to be a deputy sheriff assigned to the Corrections Division. I was 19 at the time, and they said I couldn't go on the road until I was 21 years of age. Well, at age 20, I was out on the road. I served as a deputy sheriff out on patrol throughout Wayne County, continued in that position until I was transferred as a detective. As a detective, I worked more of the high-profile cases, the more serious investigations, and my forte was actually child abuse cases. I've been recognized by the Child Sexual Abuse Institute of Ohio for my work in convictions and successful investigations in child abuse cases. I then was promoted to the position of sergeant and I supervised other deputies out on patrol in the patrol division, working alongside them throughout Wayne County. In 1989, I had the opportunity to go work for the Medway Drug Enforcement Agency as an agent. My job there included working undercover investigations, but also supervising other agents, working with confidential informants, all facets of drug investigations. In 1998, after being in office for approximately a year, Sheriff Maurer then asked me to be the law enforcement captain in charge of the patrol division and also the detective bureau. I continued in that position until a few years ago when the sheriff then asked me to be the administrative captain. That's the position I currently hold today. My duties as the administrative captain include budgeting, personnel, overseeing the civil division, carrying concealed weapons permits, registered sex offenders, the dispatch center, and also the day-to-day operations of the sheriff's office. My education beyond the Sheriff's Academy is extensive. In 2000, I was selected to attend the FBI National Academy for an 11-week program. Less than 1% of law enforcement officers are selected to attend this program, and I graduated from that in 2000. I've received additional training from the Drug Enforcement Administration, the Ohio Attorney General's Office, the Ohio Auditor of State, and a host of other trainings that I've concluded throughout my career. My leadership positions outside of being a captain at the Sheriff's Office, in 2012 I was elected to serve as the president of the Ohio chapter of the FBI National Academy Associates here in Ohio. I also serve and active in the Buckeye State Sheriff's Association, currently serving on their legislative committee. I serve as chairman of the Wayne County Wireless 911 Advisory Committee, which is made up of police chiefs and law enforcement representatives throughout the county. I also serve as the president of the Your Human Resource Center, a counseling center here in Wayne and Holmes County. I've been on that board for many years. I serve as the co-chair of our administrative council at my church. I'm a past president of the Wayne County Sports Officials Association and been involved in many community-minded agencies. I believe that my family background, my work experience, my strong education, my recognized leadership give me the qualities to be your next Wayne County Sheriff. I have the commitment, the cooperation, and the community support to take these duties on. I believe that I can take the Sheriff's Office to the next level and continue in my professional career in the current position that I am. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hardman. It is no secret in the community that the last labor relations between the deputies and management caused a great deal of conflict. If elected, what strategies will you employ to create a positive result between the offices of Commissioner and Sheriff?
I think I brought a unique perspective when we talk about labor negotiations. I used to serve as a union negotiator on that side of the table. Now I sit on the management side of the table. One of the things that I'm very proud about is that we were able to sit down and have some unique discussions and some one-on-one discussions with all parties involved and talk about the realities of where the budget is, where the money is, and what the impact is on the decisions that we make. What we're able to do is sit down and negotiate out not just a 3-year contract, because we had a 3-year contract that had been tied up in the court systems. We're trying to negotiate the next 3-year contract. What we're able to do is unprecedented in the state of Ohio, and that's settle a 6-year contract, 3 years back and 3 years forward. We know what the realities are of our budget at this point. We know what our liabilities are when you talk about the future, and we can prepare for that in a much better way. I think bringing the three entities together, the Sheriff's Office, the union, and the county commissioners, and making a cooperative and dealing and understanding the issues is important. I think I was a big part of being able to settle that amongst those 3 parties. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Hutchinson.
Okay. As your sheriff, labor negotiations will be done at the table. It should never take 3 years to settle a contract. Everyone that's involved will have a seat at the table, and we're all going to sit down and work together and make sure we have an end result, something that we can all be happy with. We're not all going to be happy with the end results. And we're not going to be able to please everyone in negotiations. Both parties have to have the same compromise while keeping the best interest of the citizens in mind. Commissioners and sheriffs have to work together as a partner and deliver the best services to the people, whether funding the office's budget starting with a new program. We're always going to work we're not always going to be able to work who works with the habit and maintain the respect for each other.
Thank you. Question is also from the coalition. Some county businesses have expressed concern over reduced deputy coverage. What is your view of the current patterns and your plans for the future?
Well, I want to make sure that deputies make periodic stops at businesses and also in the neighborhoods. For doing so, officers are more aware of suspicious people and vehicles in the areas that they patrol. Frequent community policing will build positive rapport and confidence with businesses and neighborhoods. Sheriff and officers both need to be visible all year to the public, not just at the county fair one time a year.
Thank you. Mr. Hardman.
Thank you. The layoffs obviously had a very big impact on the patrol division in the sheriff's office. One of the things I've been able to do is cut the administrative cost and the salary line items by 20%. Take that money and put it towards the patrol division so we can have more deputies out there. But it's also looking at what other resources we have. A good example is we had a very serious homicide here in Wayne County. And with the phone call, within 20 minutes, we had 25 FBI agents coming down to spend 3 days at a crime scene. And within 12 hours, we had the suspect in the case arrested in the state of West Virginia. It's knowing what resources to reach out for. It's communicating with the public in several ways. Facebook, I was amazed how much comments we get on Facebook, and solve crimes by communicating with the public in new and different ways, and we continue to do that. My goal is to continue to look at the administrative alignment and take those resources, get more deputies on the road. Look for grants that address those issues, which we continue to do, so we can strengthen our road patrol and keep Wayne County safe.
Thank you. The next question will be directed to all candidates, and we'll begin with Mr. Wright.